The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry for Josh Adams. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On first down, this is Adams. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw. David. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they'd place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kalen Ballage, 91 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball.
And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
They have a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 good yards here on the run, and now third down. Off the play fake. David rolling to his right. Got a man, Slayton. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now they run out of the shotgun with Adams. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Charlie. 53, Mike. Come on, let's get it, go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Off play action. David. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quentin Williams drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. just gave up another one right there.
And tatter, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Third and long. It's Watson. And the pressure gets to him again. Charles Harris able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Adams. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, Delta. Check that. What Mike did.
From the gun, David. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. All the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, David. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Watch the 6-6. Pull it high. Out. Check. Hard. Get it.
It's a give to Adams out of the shotgun. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 41.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and pick up the first down with Adams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. David, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now a first down throw, Watson. And this one complete to Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got Smith here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw is Watson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively, you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Watson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Slam, slam, slam. Check. Hey, wahoo. Nice.
Off play action. David nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Back to throw. David. It's caught here by Adams. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on 3rd.
You better be afraid of me. Go, go.
From the gun, David. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
19. Come on, deep pass. Tight right.
Back to the ground, this time with Tomlinson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him over-reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Watson throwing complete to Smith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Watson on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Balaj. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Check that. We got Mike 52.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, high 7. Hey, rough dude.
To throw again, David. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
Hey, seam six. Seam six.
Man, I got you.
Ready?
They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Where's the tap?
UAT. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Let's go.
On first down, it's Watson. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So he splits the uprights, and it has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, I knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run it with Milage. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Again, it's Milage. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Milage. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Dolphins have got it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
54.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. Mike 52. Mike 52. Let's set a tone, fellas.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The sack by Jordan Willis. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson escaping the pressure right. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
55, Mike, guys, 55.
Watson now, operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. Looking to throw. David flushed out right. And incomplete. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Mike, 5-2. Hey, watch the slant. Check the backer. Watch the twist. SOS.
Hey, Haywood.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. David. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to throw. David. And he comes back with one complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Mike 52. Check.
Ready?
On 4th down, David. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. They stay on the ground. Tomlinson. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And his kick is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
There's pride on the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.